Hello everyone. I will discuss the topic literary terms, especially hyperbole and metaphor. It is prescribed in the Guru Nanak Dev University syllabus of BA B.Ed Semester 2 in elective English paper. First of all, I will discuss hyperbole. Hyperbole is derived from a Greek word meaning overcasting. It is a figure of speech that involves an exaggeration of ideas for the sake of empathizes we employ in our day-to-day speech. For example, when meet a friend after a long time, you say, "It has been ages since I last saw you." You may not have met him for 3 or 4 hours or a day, but the use of the word ages exaggerates this statement to add empathizes to your weight. There are so many common examples of hyperbole in our daily life. My grandmother is as old as the hills. She is as heavy as an elephant. I am dying of shame. I am trying to solve a million issues these days. It is important not to confuse hyperbole with simile and metaphor. It doesn't make a comparison like simile and metaphor, it only exaggerates things. Function of hyperbole. In our daily conversation, we use hyperbole to create an amusing effect or to empathize our meaning. However, in literature, it has very serious implications. By using hyperbole, a writer or a poet makes common human feelings remarkable and intense. As a result, they do not remain ordinary. In literature, uses of hyperbole develops contrast. When one thing is described with an overstatement and the other thing is presently normally, a striking contrast is developed. So we can say that whenever we have to show a contrast in a literature, we use hyperbole. This technique is employed to catch the reader's attention. For example, Joseph Conrad empathizes the passing of time in the novel Heart of Darkness. I had to wait in the station for 10 days, an eternity. 10 days is by no means an eternity, forever, but it felt like it. Next literary term, metaphor. Metaphors are one of the most extensively used literary devices. Metaphor is a figure of speech that makes a hidden comparison between two things. They are unrelated but share some common characteristics. A metaphor develops a comparison that is different from a simile. We do not use like or as to develop a comparison in a metaphor. In simple words, we can say that metaphor is a comparison between two dissimilar things by making them identical. For example, Henry was a lion on the battlefield. This sentence suggests that Henry fought so bravely that he embodied all the personality traits which attribute to the ferocious animal. This sentence implies immediately that Henry was courageous and fearless, much like the king of the jungle. There are so many examples of metaphor in literature. Example 1, The Sun Rising by John Donne. She is all states and all princes are. The speaker believes that he and his beloved are richer than all states, kingdom, and rulers in the entire world because of the love that they share. The next another example is also from the poem The Sun Rising by John Donne. This is another example of a good metaphor where sun is being called a fool by John Donne. Thank you. This was all for today's video.